Anyway, yeah, same publisher, but it was kind of cool to get to work on some like RPG books.
That's cool.
I'd love to do that in the future, but I haven't done a lot of art lately. So step one, make more art.
There we go, and we are back on an art trip about making more art, and that's never a bad thing. Hello, welcome everybody. We are down a couple people tonight. That is okay. Sometimes scheduling conflicts happen, or illnesses. It just is a thing. But as you can tell, if you're tuning in either by looking at the video rebroadcast on Twitch or on YouTube, when it gets uploaded, you will see that we're at 140 of our $200 goal. Yay! So we are getting real close. We have this game and then Wednesday night's Firefly game to hit that goal. So real close. Hoping we can do it. Outside of that, then the next games aren't until October. So I am going to be working overtime and getting some special Halloween themes for all the games because I have some graphics that I want to use, and
nice.
I wanted to do that. I did it last year for Vampire. I decorated it for the Giovanni Christmas, and so if you look at the episode, it has like the Merry Christmas. It's got some sparkling lights, and so I want to do that again this year. But I want to do it for Halloween and Christmas, so because I like some. Okay, so at any rate, Todd, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
All right. Well, welcome everybody. So, to explain the absence of our missing members, I think I get the names up here. I apologize because it's like, wow. Let's go backwards here.
That's what happens when your characters are from all over the world.
Yeah,
it's Stephanie and Sarah.
It's Kagami and Zanshi. So Kagami and Zanshi were last seen leaving Japan to fly to Los Angeles. It was a 12-hour flight. They were getting to know one another, bonding over anime fight scenes. We had left Montana on a Wednesday night at a nice club in Los Angeles. She met some people there. She saw a character on the first floor that she didn't get a chance to talk to because he disappeared. We got Yeva on a Tuesday night at the same club, just the night before. She sees the same character that Montana has seen, approaches him, and this dude takes off, runs down an alleyway, and actually calls her kitty and tries calling her out. And Yeva decides to leave him alone in the alley and just goes back to the club. Kanemaros has gone through some interesting culture shock as far as meeting people in Minneapolis. He has met Sean the Stoner, and he's met William, who is a Goral, and William has spoken to him about getting the cairn that he owns cleaned up, that was contested with the guru, and so that they also need to work on getting a moon bridge done. So they had a conversation with that. We left off with, I think, Montana last night. So I think, with Yavit last time. So that I think we wanted to start with, on my note, starting with Catamaros. Does that sound right for everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, Catamaros, we're going to say for you, you have William has been the cairn. He has not been to this cairn in over a year. When the guru tried to lay claim to the cairn, he had detailed that his ownership of the land was different than how Guru understood, and so rather than battle it out, he just said, "It's mine. You may use my cairn, but it belongs to the Guru."
Mm-hmm.
And then he had kind of abandoned it, didn't really pay attention to it. He did a Native American version of a walkabout, basically, to go about his territory, which is pretty large, going from place to place. And now that with you and the others in the kinfolk house, He needs to go to the cairn, see the state of it. How overgrown is it? What's happened there?
Mhm.
Is it being used? And also to prepare for the rite. So, what interest do you have in this, as far as him going to the cairn at all?
Well, I know a cairn's going to be important for overall goals. I don't know if this is going to be the one, but I know it's going to be important in general.
Okay, so he's in a stress to you. He doesn't want to go alone. He can handle himself, but at the same rate, he hasn't been there in a while. He doesn't know what's going to be there. So he has gifts, but one of the gifts that he's lacking is the ability to sense worm. He can see what worm has affected,
Mhm.
but to sense that have worm been here recently, or detect on that level, he's like that's a weakness of mine. I've not received that gift yet. Is this something that you possess?
I'm not the best at it, but yes, it is something I'm capable of doing.
All right. Well, I would like to invite you to come to the cairn with me then. And maybe this is a gift that you can teach me. And together we can sense what has been there.
Very well, I will do my best.
And so when you're doing this over dinner, this whole conversation is going to be held over your spaghetti dinner, basically.
Okay.
Um,
The non-beef spaghetti dinner.
yes, the marinara sauce. So he just says, "I know I've just arrived. I would like to sleep, and tomorrow can we travel tomorrow to the cairn? It's about a day's walk from here."
That's fine.
All right, so let me get some sleep here, so I can get in tune with the land again, so we can travel towards the cairn at that point.
Very well. Is this Sean individual going to be going with us, or is he going to remain behind?
I think it might be best if Sean stayed behind. I don't, to be honest, I think we may be looking at some form of battle at this point, and I don't. Sean's a storyteller. He's great with delivering messages, but I don't want him on my side in combat.
Very well. Then perhaps we shall announce that he is going to defend the rear guard.
I think he'd be fine with that. I'm just gonna walk around the exterior of the property. I want to check in with the lady has never given you her name. Everybody just calls her Mother, and so he's like, I'm gonna check in with Mother over here and just let her know what's going on. That we're leaving tomorrow morning. But I'm gonna walk the property a little bit.
Very well.
So
I will be here.
So he nods to you. He gets up. He walks over to the kitchen where they're all eating. Sean's at the table eating with them. He talks to Sean for a little bit. Sean's shaking his head. They're not trying to hide their conversation, but they're talking, normal voice. You don't unless you're trying to hear them, you're not going to overhear the conversation.
Gotcha. I'm not too concerned at this point.
Right. I didn't think so. So he greets everybody. Mother's making a big deal about there's room upstairs for him to sleep, and he's just at this point he just says, I'd rather sleep under the stars. I've spent too much time within the caves. I'd like to sleep within the stars near humans at this point, if you will. And so she's like, I understand. I mean, it may be better to sleep inside, but you do what you need to do. So he gets up, excuses himself, shakes up. He the kids that are at the table. Remember, there's a couple kids at the table. Like they're all excited to see him, and they're all hugging him and everything. But he just gets up and he just walks out the front door. He's like, I will see you in the morning.
Do you say that to me?
Yeah.
I just nod my head.
Okay. So now you're like the only one in the living room. Everybody else is at the kitchen table. You're just sitting by yourself in the living room here.
I'm going to return to whatever room they've assigned for me at this point.
Okay.
Too much reality.
Kind of banal for you. So hold on just a second. My dog didn't. Hey, you okay? Sorry, she doesn't. I don't know what she's doing back there. So you get up, you go to bed. I mean, it just this night, you had that dream with the Native American looking guy with the scar across his face and everything.
Okay.
You had that dream about a week ago. It's the same guy, but he's in a different location now. He's inside something. Before he was like he appeared to be traveling, but now he's inside. It's not a room, but it's kind of hard to tell what he's inside for you.
But it's something enclosed.
It is enclosed.
And that's in my dream now, is what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Would this equate to a type of puzzle?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, you can do difficulty 7. See what you come up with on this.
All right. I'm going to focus on this and try to use my intelligence and enigmas. Not the greatest dice pool, but I have something.
There you
go. 2 successes. 3. I got 3. No, 2 successes. 2 7s and a 6.
Okay. He is. I mean, this room that he's in has rounded windows on it, and there's a lot of seats inside there. You have never been on one, but you've heard talk of planes. So like this is the best equate of what it would look like to be on a plane. This the flying tube that people get around in now.
More Weaver tech. Great.
Yeah. But he's in this plane. He's sitting on the plane. There's another man next to him, Asian man, that you have seen in your dream in the past, but in the dream you had a week ago, this other character was more shadowy. Like you couldn't make any features out on him.
Okay.
But now they're sitting next to each other. It's clear that this Asian gentleman is the same person from the other dream.
Okay, so I'm dreaming of individual. I'm nothing I can do about it right now except to sort of commit it to memory, and then when next I wake up, maybe jot a couple things down on a scrap of paper.
Okay. So
for memory purposes. And
they're sitting there. It's not exciting to watch them. You just see them in this tube. There's people around them, and that's about all you see. So you when you wake up in the next morning, you remember bits and pieces of the tube, him being in the plane, so you can jot down whatever you want for that memory. But you do know that it's important, and it has something to do with Gaia. That's all you know. That this guy is the same one that you had before, so it has something to do with Gaia, or maybe even a person for you. So
okay, well, something to look forward to. Hopefully, I can find somebody who can interpret dreams at least better than I can.
You get up. You can eat breakfast. He said meet you in the morning. He wasn't very clear about what time to meet, though.
Well, I guess wake up, get changed, see if there's something to snack on, non-beef related, and go from there.
All right. Mother has made pancakes and eggs and bacon, so you can definitely chow down.
Okay, definitely familiar with the other two. I have no idea what the hell a pancake is outside of, again, I've probably heard of some sort of cake fluffiness or something. So it's more of like one of those poke at it real quick to see, like what its, consistency is, and like, okay, very well. And just kind of go through the motions of mimicking what it is that they're doing, like with the syrup and the butter and whatnot, to go with the experience and to find out just what it is.
So the kids are putting a ton of syrup on there. Sean's putting a ton of syrup, and mom's like, the mother's like, enough. You just moderation. And then Sean sees you, he's like, hey man, good morning. So William says you guys are gonna just like walk around and stuff, and I'm supposed to stay back here. Is that right?
Yes, you're being assigned a defending action, defending the rear guard.
Defending rear guard. I can defend rears, man. That's cool. I like that. Yeah. um. So yeah, I'll stay here. You guys go do your thing. Okay. Um. If you need me, you know where to find me. You guys be careful, right?
Very well. This is probably going to hurt my intellect asking this question, but what is this substance, this cake?
Pancakes, man.
I didn't ask for its name. What is its consistency? What is it made of?
Mother, how do you make pancakes? And she's like, it's a Bisquick mix. It's got
What is a Bisquick?
Oh goodness. Flour. There's you mix it together. It's sweet, but it's filling. You can put syrup on it if you want. You can eat it plain. I like to have very little syrup on it. Try one. I think you'll like it.
But it's primarily consisting of flour, a grain.
Yeah, it's mainly flour.
Very well. And I'll sample it.
And you like it.
Just leave it at that. Just kind of edgy about the newer culinary foods and whatnot, especially after I've readily seen them, scarf down beef. I'm like, don't know how I feel about that right now.
So the only meat you have now, you got eggs and bacon here, so you're familiar with that too.
Yeah, I'm definitely familiar with that. Yeah.
All right, so you eat. Where do you eat? Do you eat at the table with them? Do you go in the living room? Do you go outside? Because William said he'd meet you outside.
No, just right here at the table. It's important at this point that I find ways to assimilate, and I'm going to observe whether it's wrong or otherwise. How they're sitting at the table and eating. I imagine it's not like terribly different than what I'm used to, but I'm looking for nuances like pass this, pass that, don't reach across.
Using
more etiquette related things to try and blend in appropriately and not just be
elbows on the table.
Yeah, not just be a bull in a china shop.
There you go. And then silverware is a big thing for you. You're used to knife, but you're not used to like what the fork is for, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just little things, and you're picking up on it. It's just observing, that kind of thing. Mother does say to you at one point to get your elbows off the table, that kind of thing. And so, so you're just very, after hearing enough people say, can you pass that? You're picking up on that too.
Okay.
You eat as much as you want. William's still not around.
Well, as soon as I'm done, there really isn't a whole lot for me to do around here, so I'm just going to stalk around the property.
Okay. As soon as you walk out the door with the full intent of stalking, William's just standing out there leaning on a staff, and he's so like you walk out and he's like, and it's a walking staff, it's not a fighting staff. So he's like, are you ready to go? You need to get anything together?
No, I am fine. Bored,
right.
But I'm fine.
Well, hopefully our journey will be. I don't know. We'll work it out. But again, it's a day's travel. Do you need to bring like a sleeping bag or anything, or a bedroll, or?
No, I should be fine.
Okay. Just and then food. Are you going to bring anything to eat? Or are you going to hunt when we get there? Or
So I'm just going to turn around and walk out. We're already at too many questions now. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to find, like, not a paper towel, an actual towel, like a hand towel of some kind. I'm going to scoop up some of the bacon that has been finished. I'm going to wrap it up in said towel, and then I'm just going to walk back out.
He's like, we're going on a journey. That's all, Katamara. So I just want to make sure you're prepared for the journey. Is all.
I can hunt if necessary.
All right. Weapon-wise, are you bringing weapons with, or just so I know with the person I'm traveling with, like what you have with you?
Okay, so I lift my shirt and show him my back tattoo.
He's like, okay, that will work.
Will this suffice here?
Yes, that will suffice here. Yeah, it will be. I think we'll be ample. You won't be hunting rabbits with that, but I think we'll be well protected.
Well, I would not hunt small game in such fashion. If necessary, I would just use my hands and perhaps horns.
All right. Well, let's travel. So, he just it's a beeline. So like he's going straight into the forest at this point. That the house that you guys are staying at is pretty far off the beaten path. There is like a dirt path that leads to it.
Mm-hmm.
that comes in from the east side of the property.
Mm-hmm.
And you've walked around it. So like from the east, you're in the middle of nowhere, so it's all forest here.
Okay.
But to the east is the only trail that goes out from here. So when he leads you guys out, he's taking you north at this point, deeper into the forest. So within a few hours, you're farther than you've ever been around this property.
That's not hard, considering I've never been here in general.
Right.
So
well, you've been laps around the property, but you haven't really you haven't explored it all. So
sure.
Okay. So he's taking you further and further to the forest. He's trying to pick your brain to see who you are, to find out about you. So, how up for you for conversation? I mean, are you like kind of closed mouth about it, and he's going to learn quickly to stop talking to you, or?
No. I'm just more along the lines of like, if you ask, perhaps I'll answer, but I'm not going to just be throwing random, quips out.
Okay.
I'm not an orator. I'm not, a ragabash. I'm not somebody who retells, long-winded stories, or I have parables or anything of that nature. So if he asks, I may have an answer, but it'll probably be kind of short.
So you'll have a lot of yes, no answers, maybe answers for him, and then
brief explanations.
A little. All right, that's good. So as you're going towards the forest, towards the cairn, and he just says the cairn, it's this direction. We should hit it. If we with just a couple short breaks, we should be able to get there by tomorrow morning. I don't need to stop often. How are you for traveling? I mean, do you need to stop short breaks, or?
I'm going to look over my body, temporarily, and look back at him, almost as if I don't fully understand the question. And did I give you the impression that I am Sean?
No, I guess I don't know you. I'm just trying to be polite to know my traveling companion. That's all.
I am fit, which is why I was sent.
All right, then let's go forward. So you guys have been traveling. You stop for a midday meal. Your eggs are still good at this point. You can eat those. He has some dried fish. He'll offer you some dried fish if you want it.
Sure, that's fine.
All right. And then after just like a half an hour maybe, he's ready to go, and he's still like, let's keep on going.
Yeah, that's fine. I can totally keep up.
Okay. Same thing. It's now. I mean, the next time he wants to stop, he'll go off and like to urinate or something like that, but like he just keeps going. He'll like if he stops, he's like, I just need to relieve myself, and so like he'll step off the direction, so he's just a little bit off to the side, and then he comes back and then continue to walk. Um, he'll walk sundown, and it starts to get dark, and he's like, we probably should break for the night here. It's not safe in general to travel in the evening. So so he just kind of like he lays him. He just gets off on the side of the road, just a little bit over into the thicker part of the wood,
Mhm.
and just gets on the ground. Just hunkers down to sleep.
Very well. Then I'm just going to find a tree to prop my back up against and lay down.
All right. So you fall asleep. He falls asleep. It's been a good probably 10 hours that you've been traveling at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You have the same dream, and it's the two guys in the tube in the plane, and they look sleepy. They've been traveling for a while, is what you can pick up from your enigma. That just piecing it together.
Hmm.
They've been in this tube for quite some time.
Very well. Then I'm going to ask him. Are you having these same dreams?
He's like,
I'm dreaming of two individuals flying in a long cylindrical device, and they now appear to be fatigued.
I am. I'm having. I see. But I can see him in the distance. I see his traveling companions, further up in the plane. It is Basukosh that is bringing the others from the east over here to the west coast. So
these are others who are sharing in this task.
Yes.
Hmm.
Whether he is part of the task, I don't know. I just know he is bringing us together.
Very well.
So, but I have not met him. I have just, I've meditated upon and I've received his name, from a spirit.
Hmm. And what of these lands that we walk in? I'm told they are divided into states.
Yes, this country is United States. There's 50 states, and there's territory lines, just like there's always been country lines and everything. So our country has individual states, and some states are as large as some small countries. And it's what's one unified country for the most part. So we are in the state of Minnesota right now.
And this Minnesota, is it controlled by Gaia?
Gaia controls a lot, but man has subverted quite a bit of the cities here are huge. The technology here is vast. That's why I stay to the forest to avoid all the Weaver technology.
So the warders of man have failed.
Yes, yes. The apocalyptic Gru Wars. There was a lot of battle that had happened, and that's why we need to rebuild. We are looking at bringing others together. The Asian culture has some strength that we are trying to mimic together, because the Gru have not led the land, and they've kind of lost Gaia's word at this point.
Hmm. Perhaps sometime you'll need to explain to me what is an Asian.
It's another country. So it's it's just land of origin. So
is this in relation to the Khans?
Somewhat. I mean, Khans are they are. I mean, actually, I think we have a Khan coming. But the Khans, they came from that part of the world. Yes.
So they're Mongolian.
Yes, there you go. Mongolian would definitely be from the Asian culture. Yes, that's going back over 1,000 years. But yes, that's Mongolian.
Very well. I was unaware that the Mongolians were that successful.
It's a huge history lesson. It's yes, that culture has grown quite a bit.
I'm told there are Weaver Tech devices that I can obtain somehow through the use of the modern day coin that will allow me to study these things. I clearly cannot get something like that out here. Where would I obtain such a device, an item? Well,
I mean, Mother may be able to get something for you at the house. When we, I mean, the phones that they have, smartphones have all kinds of ways to search and everything like that. You can get on the internet for there. I don't know if Mother has a computer at the house. I don't think so. They have quite a few DVDs and there's a lot of books in the house. You look confused. Am I?
I'm just going to do this.
Right. So he's like, you look confused. Okay. So
just my standard dour look, and he's like, DVD, CD, smartphone.
So as much as I avoid technology, I know about technology. It seems as though you're just coming new to all this. So this is all right. So that's a whole conversation for later then. So I mean, and you guys are going to be talking and walking as you're going as the morning trip. So you're going to continue to talk, and it gets to a point where like he's just going to like look around. The area looks kind of overgrown, like animals have actually avoided this part of the forest. So roll your worm sense. Is that with occult and perception?
It's actually just something I have to focus on. I just looked it up. So it's not something I have to do. I just have to focus, and it will let me know if something is there.
All right.
Yeah, there's like literally no roll. I mean, if you want me to roll for or put a roll to it, I can. That would probably be something like perception alertness or something.
Yeah, either do perception alertness or perception and awareness.
Oh, well, they don't have awareness on the character sheet, so I didn't buy that.
All right, don't do alertness then.
One more. Okay. Difficulty?
This part of the forest is an 8.
Okay, so I've got 1.
All right. So you know that something of the worm has been here within the past week. And that's as much as you can get. But something of the worm has been by this area within the past week.
So I'm going to stop and look around and kneel down to one knee and get closer to wherever that emanation was and let him know there is the stench of spiritual corruption here.
That's disappointing.
It is not recent, but something has been through.
So he's looking at the forest itself to see, like, the growth, to see if it's gone through this area, where it's gone. Mm-hmm. Do you have survival at all or anything like that? Or
I believe I do. 1 sec. I do. So what do you want me to pair that with?
Do that with perception as well. So because now you're trying to track.
Difficulty?
It's been a week. We'll say 8.
Okay. 2.
Nice.
2 9s.
So you see, there are tracks, but they're not animal tracks. Something has been through here, and it's not an animal that you recognize. It's not like paw prints or anything like that. But something has come through this way. It has broken through part of the brush, and the brush, like you can see where some of the brush is actually withered from the touch.
Okay. So I'm going to point that out to him and say I have found unidentifiable tracks. They proceed, this direction and point out some of the areas where the plant life has withered or has been damaged in some form.
He's like, it looks like they're looking for the cairn. Let's go forward. I would honestly, he starts to grow in size. So he was like 6'4" before.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I need to protect Gaia's land. And the backpack that he had, it melds into what he's wearing. It becomes like a backpack, like a tattoo for him, and just it melds into him.
Yeah, it's been dedicated to him. I get it.
Right. So
I got stuff like that too.
Yeah, there you go. So he's 6'2", but when he starts to change form, he's not going Krynos. He's going in between the two.
Oh,
so
okay.
he gets to about 7.5 feet at this point, bigger, hairier, and he just looks to you, and it's his speech pattern's deeper, but he can speak. He can still speak. Like in Krynos, you really can only speak one or two words at a time. But he's more guttural, and he just says, "Prepare yourself for what we may see."
Okay. Well, I just take a moment to reach to my back and pull off my axe.
Okay.
And just let it fall to the ground with a thud.
All right. So I'm going to pause with you. The two of you are on the forest side right there, axe in hand. So I can get to our ladies that are patiently waiting over here. Okay. Who did we leave off with? Was it Montana or Yeva? I think it was Yeva was the last person, right? Okay. So Montana, you are hanging with Brian and the ladies that are there. I think Susan was the one that had mentioned that she actually had heard of your company before. And there's a lot of men. There's 3 men dressed casually, and then all 6 ladies are dressed to impress. And you're talking to Brian, kind of pulled off to the side.
Okay. I'm just going to get as close as possible to him and just try and capture his attention as much as possible.
Well, yeah, he is all about you right now.
Okay. So I've got my hand on his knee, and he was an editor, correct?
Yes.
And he was the one not doing the talking. He's the important one.
Brian's been doing a lot of the talking. Michael's the one that hasn't been talking very much.
Okay.
Brian's the one you met from the other night. He just introduced you to Michael, and they both have talked about James.
Okay, gotcha. So the last thing I think I did is I gave him my card, and then Susan mentioned that she'd heard of me. Where were we leading from there? Or did we have any?
No, you were just kind of trying to get to know them and find out when James will be here next. It is Wednesday night. James normally comes on a Wednesday night, and they don't know why he's not here.
Oh, okay. I think I missed that in my notes then. Okay. So do you happen to speak to James on the regular outside of what you do?
Brian's just gonna be like, honestly, no. James will come to me with work, or he'll come to me asking for work. But I mean, every time I've tried to contact him, it's gone nowhere. I've reached out to him. I've called, left messages. He doesn't even have a personal assistant. It's just him.
Why doesn't he seems really important? Why doesn't he have some sort of helper? I mean, is he in the market for anyone?
I don't know. He's like, hold on. He waves over and like calls Michael over, and Michael kind of looks at him. He's like, let's ask Michael. Like Michael looks like he's not going to bother to get up and walk over to you guys. So like Michael's like waiting for you guys to come back to him. He's like, Michael might have a better answer for that.
Oh, I mean, for sure. Are you going to come with me?
Oh yeah. That's I think so. He puts his arm out, the elbow down again, the way you walked over here before.
I'll go ahead and take his arm.
And so he walks you back over. He's like, and Michael's just kind of listening to conversation, like the other three men that are there. They're trying to talk important about business, but it's obvious that they're trying to impress with the conversation. And Michael's just kind of listening in. And Brian walks up. He waits for a moment, and then when there's a pause in the conversation, we'll just say to Mike, he's like, Michael, I just got a question. Lady Montana here has been, she's interested in meeting James. And I have no luck getting a hold of him. And you seem to have better luck with contacting him. I just maybe you can help her out. And he looks at you kind of like, what exactly do you need from Mr. Lancaster?
Well, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm an entrepreneur. And I'm really trying to grow my business, and I'm gonna go ahead and I haven't handed him a card yet, correct?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just like palm a card and go ahead and hand it over to him. And like when I grip his hand, I'm gonna go ahead and like caress his wrist as I'm handing it over. And if you're in the market, I can definitely help you out as well and make you feel amazing. I mean, and then I'm going to do this thing like I can help, take care of your skin, and
Princess Angel.
it would just be it would be greatly appreciated, and I hope you understand.
No, I get it. He roll perception and hold on. You're not doing anything skill wise, but just give me perception alertness, difficulty 7. Tell me what we got. Unless you're trying to use manipulation or something like that, we're just going to go on just your regular presence.
Okay. You said perception and alertness?
Yes.
No, I think I'm gonna go manipulation if that's possible.
All right, so if you want to use manipulation, let's do manipulation and maybe performance.
Okay. I can do that. You said difficulty.
Well, if let's stay with 7, but we'll do manipulation performance.
Okay.
Putting on a show.
Three.
So he's staring at you as you're talking to him. He's trying to appear not interested, but it's obvious that he's becoming interested. Not in a sexual way, just like he's interested in what you're saying. It's obvious to you that he's used to being the coy one that sits in the background and observes people. So now that you're talking to him about stuff, he's kind of not used to being spotlight focused on him. That make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
You're making him a little uncomfortable, but not so uncomfortable that he's awkward. But it's still he's not really used to this kind of conversation at all. So you're talking about like I can be there for you, I can help you out in a way, and he's like, thanks, I guess. Not really sure how I would utilize your skills or your skill set. it's not really what I'm into. I mean, you're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I just not something I really need per se. I would think. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you ever happen to change your mind, and I hope you do, please feel free to look me up. But if you could pass along my information to James, that would be greatly appreciated. Are you planning on coming here again sometime soon? Because I would maybe like to run into you in the future.
I will definitely be here Friday night. There is a good chance James will be here Friday night as well. I'll shoot him out a text and let him know who you are, and I've got your card here so I can, pass your information on to him. So
Okay. Well, if you need anything in the meantime, please feel free to reach out. Just send me a text. But don't tell Brian. Maybe we can make a date of it on Friday.
I'm not really. I'm planning. I need to meet with a couple people here. I don't know about making a date out of it. I'm flattered. I am. Maybe we can text if you're up for texting. I can do that with you, and then we can figure out maybe another night, Saturday or Sunday, we can get together. But I mean, Friday, I'm either going to meet with James here, or there might be a couple other people that we're trying to get together with on that night. There's a business deal going down on Friday.
There's always a business deal.
This is true. We're in LA, and that's how it works. So.
All right. With that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get up. I'm going to motion to Brian, like, hey, let's go get a drink. Okay. And then make my way up to the bar.
So you guys remember on the second level, and then the first level is the dance floor and everything, and there's a second bar down there. That's where you saw the guy the other night, that shifty looking dude. Or are you going to stay up on the second level where the wealthy people are, or where are you going to go?
No, I'm definitely staying on the second level for a little bit longer. I don't want to just depart, especially when I had just made my way up there. Okay. So no, I'm going to hang out for a little bit. I'm going to look around, and I'm just going to try and observe and take in the scene and see who's talking to who and who's acting peculiar, or who that I might know to be, I guess, deep in the pockets.
Okay.
And just kind of make my way around, mildly introduce myself, but not make a scene.
Okay. This level is, remember, it's all the tertiary actors, or people that are and the tertiary, like people within the business. So they are not your movers and shakers. The most powerful person on this floor is Michael. You got about 24 people up here hanging out. Okay. But there's nobody really. They're all connected or loosely connected to the business. The main conversation is going to be around Michael, but even that is kind of stagnant at this point.
Okay. So as things start to dull, I'm going to go ahead and make my way downstairs to the first level.
Okay. I'm going to pause you there. I'm going to get over to Brittany here. Brittany, so you have chased the guy down to the alley. He called you into the alley, and you said, no thanks, and you walked back in the club. So you walk back in the club. It seems normal. Like people are dancing. Nothing's really changed. So where do you go from here?
I'm gonna stay for a while and just watch people kind of get a feel for what to expect at the club. If I'm gonna be basically casing the place for this fellow, I want to know what I want to get a baseline.
Okay.
So that I know when something unexpected happens. And it really, if this is my only lead, then that's I'm just gonna stay and research. So just act like a normal club goer, basically.
Okay.
Keep my eyes and ears open.
Give me Gosh, what am I going to do? Perception and stealth check. Difficulty is a 9. Because people are bumping into you.
I do not have any 9s.
Okay, so I mean, it's a club. People have bumped into you. People say they're sorry. The club scene here, you've got people dressed nicely. You've got people. No one's wearing like jeans and a t-shirt, but like it's. But you've got people that they look like they're definitely here to dance. But then you've also got. Remember, this was a restaurant that closes down and becomes a club. And you've got some people that hang out that are like dressed in kind of suits. Like it looks like they ate dinner and decided just to hang out. Let's see what happens with the crowd kind of thing. They look a little out of place, but not like unusual kind of thing. And then again, remember, there's constantly people coming in and out of the front of the club.
I just had an idea. I'm going to go up to the bar and ask if they need wait staff for the restaurant.
The bartender's like, you got to come in during the day for that, but they're always looking for good servers. If you've got a resume, they're always looking for good servers.
Is there an application, or do I just need to talk to somebody tomorrow? Or do I need to do it online? I know a lot of people do it online these days.
Yeah, your best bet is to go online, see what positions are. Just see what's what. If you were to call, gosh, I think the restaurant manager, the back of the house manager, will probably get here about 8:00 tomorrow morning. So I don't know kind of how much of a eager beaver you are, but if you call at 8, you might be able to set something up with him in the morning. The floor manager doesn't get in till about 5. The front of the house manager usually gets here about noon. So you've got your, it just depends. Wednesday's a good day because you've got a lot of crossover going on that day.
Remind me what time you switch over from the restaurant to the club.
At 6:00.
And is the staff completely different? Like, would I need to stay on for the evening, or is it just like daytime?
We've had people do both. We've had they'll pull, some people pull doubles or triples. I mean, we've had them do both. Most our day staff are pretty separate from our evening staff because you've got people that
those are long hours.
Yeah. So but we have had people that will come in that will want to work the best days and best nights on the restaurant floor to get good tips, and then you'll have them as cocktail servers want to come in, Friday, Saturday night, or Wednesday night. Oddly enough, is another one as far as making good money on the floor out.
That's a great idea.
So it just depends on what you're. I know if you're new, every cocktail shift you have, you've got to work. You can't work Friday, Saturday, like Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. You got to pick up a Tuesday too. So they balance.
Yeah, they make the senior staff get the better days.
Right. Well, they want you to prove yourself. If the owner sees that you're proving yourself, he's going to give you the best shifts. So you just got to come in for the trial period. But yeah, they're always looking for good people if you got a good resume. So,
have you been here long?
Yeah, I've been here 6 years.
So you like it? You like working here?
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's a crazy crowd. I don't like it upstairs. It's a lot of people with different kind of money, and they don't tip well upstairs.
Really? You'd think people that had more money would be better, more generous, but
no, they expect more upstairs. They expect free drinks. They expect things purchased for them. They make a lot of money on alcohol upstairs for the club and the bar. but they don't. As a bartender, you don't make a lot of money up there. So I'll
So
tell
you
you.
like it better down here.
What's that?
So you like it better down here.
Yeah, I like it better down here, and things happen down here that don't happen up there.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, so he points the guys that you saw in the suits earlier. They're all three of these guys that are hanging out together. They're about 5'4". He's like, the Goombas over there. They're fun to watch.
They look a little overdressed for a nightclub.
Well, they come in for dinner and stay. They do their thing. They're here. They dance sometimes, and but they do their own thing. Mickey, I don't know what you did to him, but he's always fun to watch. He's only been coming in for about a week now. And there's a lot of, and then just watching girls that are somewhere between, hi, I'm here from Kansas, to I'm a prostitute. I mean, just to see the variance of the girls coming in here, it's always fun, and the men, he's pointing out different guys. Like some of the guys are like wearing actually like disco shirt kind of thing. He's like, some of them are trying to bring that style back. It should have stayed away. That they got some nice clothes over here. So I mean, it's a good mix. You know who to take care of. And he's like, oh, hold on, I'll be right back. So he walks away, takes care of a few people drink wise, and so he leaves you to observe what's going on.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna watch the Goombas for a minute while he's gone. See if they're doing anything interesting.
They're watching the crowd. They're not. They're almost mafia-esque the way they sit at their table. Like they have a booth that is over on the side. Like all the tables were taken away, but their booth was left behind. So they've got their own little booth. They're sitting there. The three of them are drinking wine, and they're just kind of like scanning the crowd and looking at the crowd. They don't look like they're investigating, but they're just kind of looking at everybody in the crowd.
Can I tell if there's some kind of hierarchy
between the three of them? Yeah, the shorter of the three guys seems to be in charge of the three of them.
What do they look like besides short?
So they are
distinguishing features.
They're wiry. They don't look like they have an ounce of fat on them. The three of them, they just look like they don't have bulging muscles, but they look like they could be cage fighters. Like just the way they sit at the table, the way they present themselves at the table. As you're observing them and watching them, like a guy that was dancing with a girl accidentally bumps into the table, and all three of them sit up, and the guy's like apologizing, and they kind of backs away, and they kind of relax again after he walks away. When you watch them more and you're kind of like looking for details on these guys, there's the leader guy has got a scar right here. It's almost like a Harrison Ford scar. It's just a small little scar on his chin right here. They don't have any tattoos or anything, and their hair is all greased back. And the leader guy has a hat. He's got a full-on fedora. It's a black fedora that the leader's the one that's in charge is wearing.
Do they look like unfriendly? Like obviously people are worried about upsetting them, but are they like dissuading people from approaching them?
They're not welcoming. The looks on their face, like normal bar goers might like walk up to other people like, hey, where are you from? If they've got a look on their face of just stay away, even attractive girls don't go by them, they'll initiate the conversation. That they have this imposing thing of like, it's almost like a protective bubble at their table.
I'm gonna wave to the bartender again.
So he comes back. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name again? I'm sorry. You just told me a couple hours ago. But what?
I can't remember what I told him. Did I tell him?
You didn't tell him a name. No.
Okay, just checking. I'm gonna tell you can call me Kina.
Keena, right? Keena, nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Anthony, but everybody calls me Tony.
Nice to meet you. So you're telling me stories about these interesting guys over there? Like, who are they? They look kind of intense.
They are kind of intense. Yeah. I don't know a whole lot about them. They just started showing up. Nobody messes with them. If problems happen, they seem to be able to take care of themselves. They never fight in the club, but they've gone outside the club. They've escorted people outside. But I really don't know a whole lot about them.
Very interesting. How long have they been coming here?
They've only been coming here about a month or two.
Interesting. You know what? Can I send them over a bottle of whatever it is they're drinking?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna put some money on the table for him.
All right. So it's a $40 bottle of wine is what he wants. It's a Francis Ford Coppola red Cabernet.
Sure.
So he calls a girl over, and he's like, and he points the bottle and he gives her 3 glasses, and she's like, all right. So she walks away and goes over to the table carrying the three new glasses and the bottle.
Cool.
So are you just watching them to see what happens, or like?
Well, yeah, but not like super obvious, but like kind of like casually.
Okay. She brings she brings it by, sets the bottle down, gives them 3 new glasses, talks to them for a little bit. She's opening the bottle up, and at one point she turns around and points at you at the bar.
I'm gonna just like give him a little wave.
The guy with the hat, he's looking at you like what's going on? He's just got this look at he's just looking, not mean, but just like inspecting you.
Obviously.
He's checking you out now because now he's like just kind of looking at you. He pours the wine, lifts it up at you, and then he turns and he's whispering to the guy next to him. And the guy next to him, he looks at you. Roll your perception and alertness.
Difficulty?
Is 8. Nice. Okay. From this distance, it's hard. His eyes appear to like roll back in his head a little bit as he's staring at you.
File that one away.
So he's looking at you, eyes kind of roll back for a little bit, and he looks back at you. He looks a little confused, and he whispers back in the guy's hat, with the guy with the hat. He's whispering in his ear, and they're looking at you, and they're just kind of nodding their head. And then they're drinking, but they keep looking at you out of the side of they're obviously looking at you, but they're not looking at you. So they're like trying to figure out, what is she gonna do?
I'm gonna finish my drink and go back to dancing.
Okay.
Just like play it cool.
Cool.
Clearly they don't like to be approached, so I will wait for an invitation if one comes. So I'm just gonna play it cool.
You're dancing for a while. Half an hour goes by. Somebody comes up from behind you and he puts his hand on your waist. Not caressing or anything like that, but it's an obvious like an attention, like, hey, I'm behind you kind of thing. So he puts his hand right on your waist.
Is it like please let me by kind of thing, or I'm staying here kind of thing?
More of a turnaround kind of thing.
All right, then I turn around.
It's the third guy that was at the table.
I'm gonna I'll
So
smile.
you're in the move, you turn around, you're like, oh, why? So,
The
and he's
cone
not
is
dancing. He's just standing there. And he's like, so I got to thank you for the wine. Your generosity is much appreciated.
You're welcome.
And he goes to kiss your hand. He grabs your hand, goes to kiss your hand.
I'm gonna like give him a bow or like a sort of nod and ask him if he'd like to dance.
Oh, no. I'm not here to dance. I'm here to observe and to make observations. That's my job.
What
So
kind of observations? I mean, they're all very interesting people, but
this conversation is not appropriate on a dance floor amongst all the, as you might say, muggles around us. So I would, if when you are ready, you may join us at the table if you wish to converse with us.
oh, I'm honored.
And we would be happy to have you join us.
Then I'll follow him over.
And as you're walking along, he's like, so Kira, is that the name? Is that the name you gave the man up front?
Kina.
Kina, sorry, I thought it was Akira. Kina, okay. So Kina, I don't know you. How long you been in town?
Here and there, a while.
All right. So what's your connection to the restaurant, to the dance club?
Well, I just got back into town after being away for a little bit and heard it was a good place, so I thought I'd let off some steam. I like the music, so here I am.
The music is nice. It is. It's got a loud thump to it. It's very nice. So I have to ask, what do you do for a living to make your money?
I'm a writer.
A writer.
Good town for writing, you know. All
So
kinds of jobs available.
So I mentioned the Muggles. Do you like to read like the fiction books? Do you like the history or?
This and that.
All right.
I have a variable palate.
Having a good palate is always good to have.
And you, are you much of a reader?
I like books on tape. I really I like to
Multitask.
and I don't like to put my nose in the book because when I put my nose inside the book, I get distracted. So, but I can put a good book on and have somebody that speaks well speak it to me, so I can get into the book like that.
Little acting in there.
Oh yeah, so good voice acting is always nice.
Yeah, those are good when you're traveling.
Or just waiting around for something to happen.
Also that. Killing time.
Yeah. My compatriots here at the table. The man with the hat, that's Francis, and then Johnny's sitting right over here next to him.
And you are?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said that first. I'm Luciano Assenza.
That's a mouthful. Italian, right?
Sicilian.
Oh, lovely. I've never been there, but it's on my bucket list.
It's a place to go. It is. It's a good place to live and a good place to die.
Good place to eat too, I hear.
Oh yeah. You can't get very good pie out here in LA. There's a few shops out here, but not a lot. So here, come with me. Come meet Francis. He wants to meet you and say thank you for the wine.
So I follow him over.
So you guys walk up to the table. You get there. When you walk up, Johnny's sitting at the table. Johnny gets up pretty quickly, but not like not spastically quick, but he's getting up pretty quickly when you approach the table. roll just perception alertness, difficulties 8.
Two.
2. All right. When he's getting up, he's holding something against his chest as he's getting up.
Can I tell what it is?
It's hidden underneath his jacket.
Okay.
But it's
All right.
it's something that has to be held down that might, you know, he's cautious of it.
Perhaps.
Maybe it could be a weapon. Yeah. So he's cautious of whatever it is when he's standing up.
All right. So as I approach, I'm gonna like nod graciously and introduce myself. My name is Kina. I hope.
Francis looks at Johnny, and Johnny's like, I thought she said Kira. And Francis like, it's okay. Go ahead. Kina, go ahead.
I hope I'm not presumptuous. I just was speaking to the bartender and thought you gentlemen sounded very interesting.
Well, Matt, it's good to have you here. I need to do something story-wise, and I apologize. I need to have this conversation happening on Wednesday night. It was supposed to be Tuesday, but this conversation this needs to be on Wednesday night. Can we fast forward to that?
Yeah, that's fine. We could just say that that after meeting with that suspicious fellow, nothing happened, and then I came back the next night. That's what I would have been doing anyway.
There we go. Okay, so that's what happened. You left Mickey alone, came back night 2, and you're with these guys here. Okay, so you're at the table, and he's like, no, we appreciate you the thought in itself. So Tony takes care of us back there. So what inspired you to gift us?
Well, you know, I've been in my share of clubs with unruly fellows, and I was inspired by your apparent honor. He said that you behave yourselves well and take your business outside, and I just thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, you don't do business in front of others. That's just it's not copacetic. You know, you take your business outside. You know, so like you did with Mickey last night.
Oh, do you know him?
Yeah, we know Mickey.
He seems very nervous.
He doesn't belong here. He thinks it's his place, but he don't belong here.
Who does belong here?
Well, if Johnny's right, you do, and we do, and if you look upstairs, there's a little chickie up there that's really kind of cutie. I want to meet that girl. She's new here too, and pretty sure that Johnny says she belongs here too. I mean, the wolfies, they come and go, you know, but we got to keep together, you know, our kinds.
Well, are there a lot of our kinds around the area?
There's a lot of our kinds around the area. There's a few of your kinds around the area. Johnny says we ain't ever seen anything like her upstairs, though.
I'm gonna look up to the balcony and see if I can see who they're talking about.
There's like 25 people up there. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. They just said she's really attractive, but that's all they've said.
Oh, I had a plot thread and I forgot what it was. So how long have you fellas been in town?
They kind of laugh. They're like, in town or in the area, in the club? Like, what are you referencing to? What exactly are you trying to get at?
Just curious to know more about you.
So let's start here. We've dropped some pretty obvious innuendos over here, and it doesn't seem like you're picking up what we're dropping down. So we want to know where you are on this end of the conversation. We just got to see if Johnny over here is as perceptive as he thinks he is. Sit. If you feel welcome.
I'll go ahead and seat myself.
So it's a half booth. It's not like seated like side by side like this, but it's kind of like a half moon kind of thing. So Francis is sitting in the center. Johnny goes and sits on the other side. Luciano sits on the other side. So they kind of scoot over a little bit. So there's clearly this is your spot on the end right here.
Okay. It's not like there's a chair I can pull up or anything.
No, there's no chair because it would be out in the way of the club, the dancers and everything.
All right.
First, do you need a glass? Do we get another bottle and get a glass, or are you okay? Or are you drinking something else?
I'll have a glass.
All right. So he puts his hand up and he waves. Like in less than 3 minutes, that the cocktail server that was there earlier brings another bottle by and brings one more extra glass.
Whoa. Man, I wish I could like perceive auras. Is there something I can roll to like tell if wait, how do you use primal urge? That's for like supernatural senses kind of thing, right?
Yeah, Jerome, help us out here. Primal urge. She's trying to detect supernatural around these guys. Is that something that she could use for that?
Possible. Let me get that pulled up for you.
Trying to get a feeling for whether they're dangerous to me or like how much I ought to divulge.
Oh, going the wrong way. Why did it skip forward so far like that?
Because like primal urge is the ability to tap into your animal instincts. If you have level 5 primal urge, it's like you're really tapping into Gaia and the wild and everything. But like less than that, I'm not really sure how that works.
I've almost got it. Hold on a second.
It also works with how fast you can change between your forms as well.
So
Just, like,
this talent
pretty in tune to like emotions and stuff.
This talent describes a character's connection to their bestial nature and their level of gut feelings in various non-human forms. A character with high primal urge relies not just on the heightened instinct, but a whole range of sensory information that humans don't fully understand. Their understanding of the feral nature gives them an easier time when changing form and lets them instinctively notice signs of supernatural activity, though this rarely goes beyond the level of a chill down the spine or hairs on the back of their neck standing on end.
All right, so
you have to be in your other forms, or can you be in your breed form?
No, you should be able to be in your breed form for it.
You be in your breed form. So chill down the back of your spine would be if like it's like something that's not right, you know.
Okay.
Something that's like a ghost or that level. So something is evil, something's bad is going to be the equivalent of the chill down your spine. You might feel like the hairs on your neck kind of pop up a little bit just to let you know something's going on, or maybe like the hairs on your arm are standing up a little bit, that kind of thing. So you're sensing something around you. Okay. So go ahead, roll your perception and primal urge.
Okay.
The difficulty is 6 on this because you're focusing on it.
Holy cow, 4.
All right. So these guys have definitely got an animal sense to them. They're they're definitely more like your normal human would not exude the animal nature that these guys are giving off right now. So like the hairs on your arms standing up. You as a cat reacting to this animal form, your back might almost want to instinctively arch.
Okay, so I'm definitely on edge.
Right.
But I'm gonna sit gingerly so like I can get away if I need to in a hurry.
Okay. So Francis is going to see that. He's like, "Are you okay? You seem to be a little unease."
Well, a girl on her own with powerful gentlemen such as yourselves.
They're
I
kind
tell
of
you.
nod at each other.
Can't be too careful.
So you still haven't answered my question. We have laid out some very strong innuendos at this point that you have not really responded to, other than acknowledging that we've said them. So
All right, I'll tell you. I'm in the business of secrets.
all right. So Luciano's like, she's a writer.
LA's a good town for that. Picking up things to see and hear, although it's hard to hear and hear. And
You can observe and see things in here, though, if you're looking right.
seems like you fellas see and hear quite a bit.
Oh, Brittany's paused.
No, looks good to me.
That was mine. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh, did you miss anything I said?
You just said you fellas and then froze. So
You fellas seem to see and hear quite a bit. I believe in give and take. You've been very generous. What would you like to know?
Johnny just leans forward and he goes, so I can tell we keep saying things, but we're a little cautious about what to say and what not to say, because sometimes we're wrong and sometimes we're not, of course. And I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm right, but I'm just gonna say, sorry. If I were to say Gaia, you would say
What
and they're all just staring at you now. They're just waiting for you to say something.
this is where you sing songs from Moana.
Oh God. Man, what is a good code word to use back? I'm going to tell them Fera.
They all look at each other. All right, I can do that. Yeah, okay. So fair, we can work. Okay. This might be easier, make you a little less uncomfortable if we get the other lady down here. I think that might be a little fun.
Oh yeah.
So Francis is like, we can do this small chat, but Lucy, go upstairs and get the lady. He's like, you got it, boss. So he's like, Tina, I gotta slide by. You're in my end.
I'll get out and kind of gesture him to go on.
So and he does the same thing when he's getting up. He's holding something against his chest as he's getting up, but he's also, you see him hold something against his side as well when he's getting up. He's holding in a couple different places as he's standing up.
Can I tell like what shape of thing he's holding?
Bigger than a hand.
All right.
So he walks over to the edge of the stairs. he talks to the guy on the ground, the bouncer on by the stairwell there, and then he walks up the stairs. And so, Missy, this is on you. So he comes. You see this shorter Italian-looking guy walking up. He's wearing it's an okay suit. It's not a Kmart suit, but it's certainly not like an Armani or something like that. It's a nice suit, you know. So it's tailored. He is way out of place up here, though. He walks up. He's looking around, and he's just standing there looking at the crowd. It looks like he's looking for something.
Can I, like, looking at him, can I, like, I mean, he's definitely out of place, but can I place anything else about him? Like, do I feel like he's up here, like, in a bodyguard type of a way, or just...
He looks like a bodyguard. He is physically fit. He's very confident about his body. Not overconfident. He's observing the crowd, and he's looking at the crowd like he's looking for something. And then he makes eye contact with you, and he sees you, and he nods at you and starts walking over to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep eye contact, and I'm assuming I have a flute of something, and I'm just gonna take a sip and watch him walk to me.
Okay,
I'm not gonna make any effort to meet him.
Okay, so Brian's sitting next to you. He's been trying to chat you up and everything. And as the guy's walking up, Brian stands up and he's like, can I help you? He's like, nah, sit down. He goes, so, little lady, I've been sent up to come and retrieve you because my friend would like to meet you downstairs.
Your friend?
Yeah, Francis. He'd like to meet you downstairs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know a Francis, and you know, I don't think I caught your name either.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Luciano. It's nice to meet you. And Brian starts standing up again. He's like, I'm Brian. He's like, I don't need it.
I'm sitting, I'm like leaning back a little bit, and I just kind of like take another sip, and I'm just like taking this in because I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
He's like, so yeah, you don't know Francis. That's why he wanted to meet you. That's why I'm supposed to come up and meet you and everything.
I mean, I'm happy to come meet your friend, but is this in regards to maybe a business opportunity? I'm sorry, I'm just someone in my position. I just need to be very careful because I'm here alone and I don't need to be taken advantage of.
Oh no, sure, I get it. Yeah. There's another lady at the table that felt uncomfortable, and Francis thought it might be better if we had both you at the same time talking to us at this point. It has nothing to do with business. It's more along the lines, and nothing to do with pleasure, I would say. It's more along the lines of, I don't know. He looks at Brian. He's like, I need you to get the lady a drink and just kind of walk away for a moment. And then Brian starts to stand. He was like, who do you think you are? And then and he puts his hand out like he's like, who do you think you are? And Luciano grabs the hand, folds it back, and just says, I'm not going to hurt you unless you want me to. Go get the lady a drink. Tell him that Francis is buying the drink, okay? He'll get the bartender will take care of you, okay? Just go. And Brian's like, are you going to be okay, Montana?
You know what? Just go ahead and get yourself a drink. I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Let me go take care of this, okay, Brian? I'll at least give you a good night text if I don't see you in the club again. But just be careful. I'll take care of this. Don't worry.
All right. Okay. I think it's he's coming in to try to give you like a kiss on the cheek, like almost like he's like like claiming territory or claiming property. So he's coming in to like give you a kiss on the cheek.
I'm gonna slightly avoid it. I'm gonna let him get like the side of my cheek, and I'm just gonna put my arms around the outside of his shoulders. It was so good to see you again tonight. I'll catch up with you later.
Okay.
So I'm not like denying it, but I'm also making it a little bit more platonic.
Okay. Brian looks. He looks a little like deflated, kind of like a peacock that had his wings out and is now kind of like. Whirl. So
I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna like wrinkle his nose a little bit.
he's like, and he's like, oh, okay. He turns around and it looks like the look on his face it's obvious he's thinking about what to say. It's if you could see the gears turning in his head, it would almost be as if he's trying to find the right line from the right movie to say right now. So he's looking at this guy and he's like, just like and then Fran and Luciano just says, just say thank you and go get a drink. And he's like, all right, well, yeah, I'm gonna get a drink. And he kind of walks away.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn my head back to Luciano. So shall we?
He's like, we shall. As you're walking along, he sees, he looks back and he points at somebody in the crowd that was next to you, that little crowd next to you over there. He just
points. Oh, okay. Not to point them out to me, but like, what's up?
Yeah, like I see you, that kind of thing. So he's like pointing at somebody at that crowd. Do you see who he's pointing at?
It's the finger guns.
I'm gonna go ahead and try and see who he's communicating with.
There's a lady standing next to Michael that when he does that to her, she just does like one finger on her eye like this, and then she sees you looking at her and she quickly takes the hand out.
Was that Susan or was that somebody I hadn't spoken with? Okay.
That was somebody she's been very quiet up to this point.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and if he'll allow me, I'm gonna go ahead and gesture for me to take his arm. And looks like you know quite a few people around here.
I know some people. I would rather you don't take my arm. It's okay. I need my arm.
Oh no, of course.
No, okay.
So do you work here or do you work for someone who's visiting here?
Why don't we go talk to Francis? We'll break it all down from there.
Fair enough.
Did you say Fera? Yeah, that's what
I'm gonna go ahead and give him a little elbow nudge. You lead the way.
So he leads you. He's like walking down the stairs. Did you pick up on the whole thing when he said about Fera?
I did. I was surprised, but I'm just trying to roll with it because I wasn't exactly expecting that, I guess. Okay.
So he brings you down the stairs. The bouncer that was there that let you up, he's down the bottom of the stairs. He walks you around the corner. Underneath the level that you were on, there is a booth down there. And it doesn't, from where you were at, it was hard to see at the booth. But somehow when you get towards the booth, you can see through part of the floor that's up there. So from this vantage point, they can see up to this upstairs level. But because of the way the lighting is upstairs, you couldn't notice down here. You couldn't see this booth.
Gotcha.
So at the booth, there's two Italian-looking guys. One's got a fedora on. They're both. All three of these guys are shorter. You walk up there, and there's also a lady at the table too. The lady's I want to say Armenian descent, like Middle Eastern descent. Would that be a good way to describe?
Describe what I look like.
Yeah.
All right. So, how tall did we say? 5'7". Long, dark, wavy hair, green eyes, kind of a distinctive nose, a little bit exotic looking. She is Armenian. So she's shaped like a dancer, like athletic, but like not super curvy. Dressed nice, but not flashy. So like fitting in, but kind of generic looking. So she doesn't stand out too much, but her features are too bold to be conventionally pretty.
Okay.
And then why don't you describe what you look like to Brittany then?
So I also have a link in the chat, but I am about 5'6", 5'7" ish. Pretty thin, but like curvy. Kind of like paler, creamy skin, dark brown hair, and kind of like a Betty Page type haircut. Doesn't wear like a whole lot of strong makeup, but definitely like winged liner, red lips, and tonight she's wearing a white dress. Not too over the top or immodest, but definitely not something that you would wear to as like a guest to a wedding. In good taste.
Too sexy for politics.
Yeah. I mean,
Too sexy for the office.
yeah.
Too sexy by
Yeah.
far.
Yeah. Unless you work in a sales setting, but fair enough.
So Luciano's bringing this lady to the table. What do you do, Brittany? So right now it's Johnny, Francis, and you are sitting at the table.
I'm gonna look her over, but very subtly because I like to be subtle. And just kind of look at her pleasantly. I suppose we want Luciano to sit back down again, so I'll get out of the
So he's like, it's okay. Why don't you stay next to Francis and we can have Miss Montana, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you sit next to the other lady and I can sit on the end if that's okay.
For sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoot in and I'm gonna extend my hand gently. It's so nice to meet you.
To whom? To me?
Yes. Because I'm scooting in next to you, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So and so Luciano's like, these are my compatriots. I've got Luciano's over. I'm sorry, this is Francis over here, and then Johnny's on the end over here. So we have just met Miss Keena tonight, and going through introductions. We thought it would be appropriate for you to be with us at the table as we went through introductions at this time.
Introduction. So, well, certainly. Thanks for the invite to this private party.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna shake her or like shake her hand gently and say, "Hello, my name is Keena."
Good to meet you, Keena, Montana.
And Francis is like, all right, so we have invited you to our table as just to have a pleasant discourse, if you will. To see, well, Montana, we've established amongst the four of us that we have something in common, and Johnny thinks that you share this same bound or unification with us.
Unification. I'm guessing, pursuant to your comment earlier, that it's not about my aesthetics company.
No, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's okay. So,
Very lovely skin.
yeah, thank you. You know what? If you, and when you say that, I'm gonna go ahead and just like pass a card, like here. In case you want to have a girls' date, we can hang out, and since you're new to town too.
So yeah, you're both new to town and new to our facility, our abode here. Just to see. So Johnny has noticed something about both of you And Johnny's like, let me say it, boss. Let me say it. So, Montana, if I say Gaia, you say.
Okay.
You just say
What
okay.
do you? I mean,
It's harder than you think.
I'm just gonna look around and. Okay. So I get it. What do you need from me?
It's not actually what we need from you, per se. Um, so we want to know, I guess, both you ladies, why are you here?
Why is anyone here?
It's not a philosophical concept. I'm not Aristotle, okay? Why are you within our location? We've been tracking this Metis down for like months, and we got him here, and you scared the crap out of him last night. And then 2 nights ago, you come down and you chase him away too. So
Oh, that shifty fella.
That creepy guy?
yeah.
Oh. I mean, if he was I mean, he wasn't really sweet on this sugar, so I'm sorry that I threw a wrench in your plans.
You know,
We're just trying to find it. I mean, it's like we don't look at Metis the way the guru do, I gotta say. Okay. And I'm just gonna throw these words out. We're just gonna say it. We're just gonna be just put the shit on the table and we'll go from there. Okay. So we don't look at the guru the same way, well, the Metis the same way the guru do. They don't all have to be destroyed because some of them they're not, we're not talking like there's different shades of black. You understand that, right? Okay, so this guy, he's bad, but he's not bad. He's not a serial killer bad, but he does stuff, and so we're just trying to track stuff down. And some of your friends upstairs over there are doing some shifty stuff too. So that's why we're here to try to track some of this stuff down.
So you're like the supernatural Avengers, like
Yeah, no one here is the Hulk at the table. Okay, Johnny's like, I could be Ant-Man though. No, okay, shut up, Johnny. Okay.
I'm gonna look at Johnny and I'm gonna wink at him.
Hey, I like you. He winks at you, but he doesn't have the facial structure, like the face control. So he's like,
I'm gonna chuckle a little bit and kind of hide it with my glass. You know, I thought he was behaving suspiciously and I wanted to know why, so I followed him out the door last night. He went into an alleyway and threatened me.
oh, that's new. So did you throw down with them, or just what happened?
Sorry, what was that?
Did you throw down with them, or what happened?
No, I don't like to stick my nose in till I know what I'm dealing with. But I mean, as you say, I am fairly new to town. I didn't want to. It's a little early to be drawing conclusions.
Okay, yeah. So the others, the guru, what they would want was to be I guess they'd want that bastard destroyed on site, rip him up, and just throw him out and all that. But that's not. We don't really work that way. We've got our own insights, and we want to see what he's doing. We want to see where he's going. Um, he's noticed us, but I think he thinks that we're not really up to his level, so he leaves us alone. You know, but if it comes down to it, we'll tear him apart if we need be. You know, so just trying to figure. Did you follow him here, or what breadcrumbs led you here?
I'm looking for someone. I heard he would be here.
So who you looking for?
Fella by the name of James?
When I hear that, I'm just gonna like look over like, Lancaster James?
That is a name that I heard associated with him. Do you know him?
No, not yet. I'm working on that though.
Yeah, we're working on it too.
I can tell you he is supposed to be here on Friday with Mr. Michael upstairs.
Yeah, he was supposed to be here tonight, and I don't know why he's not here. So if he's here Friday, yeah, we'll find out what's going on with all that. So James or Jimmy, he's doing some stuff. We're trying to find out what's going on. He seemed seems to be working with children a little bit too much. So he's I don't know, like he provides a little bit of I don't know. It's just there's the darker, shitty side of Hollywood. It looks like Johnny, Mr. James, Jimmy Lancaster over there. He's part of that darker side of Hollywood. So so we've tracked it to him, and we're trying to find some stuff. We think Mickey might have something to do with it, or he's recently involved. Well, we're just putting the pieces together. The puzzle seems to be bigger than we thought. So we didn't know if you two were pieces of the puzzle, or you were helping us put the puzzle together.
I'm working on my own puzzle. Heard that this James fella was part of it.
So you're running an even bigger puzzle.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
Montana, how do you fit in this picture then?
Yeah, I heard some things, and he's somebody we gotta take care of. So, I mean, I have limited power being new in town, so if we can maybe put this puzzle together.
Let's do this.
Take him out. That would probably be preferable.
We don't know where the kids are. We don't know where they're, what's going on with that. And we don't know if it's just prostitution or if it's human trafficking. And that's what we're trying to figure out. That's the level of the puzzle we're at right now. Okay. So we're trying to put the pieces together. I think we probably, Johnny. So Francis turns to Johnny. He's like, I think you need to stay. Keep an eye on what's going on over here. You got your cell. You call me. Ladies, I think the four of us should go to our little hidey hole and talk so we can like strategize and get some ideas out. I can tell you what I can do. I can show you. You show me. We can go from there. I want to know who the players on the board are. Does that make sense?
I'm gonna kind of look at Montana sideways, kind of like seeing what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know if you want to exactly try and dissect me right now, but we can take a stab.
No, I mean, and again, it can be equal sharing of information. We don't even know where each other are at this point. I know Lucy. Lucy knows me, and we don't know what you ladies are. Johnny says that you're one of us and you're not Gru, and that's as far as he can tell. He leans forward and he's like, pretty sure, just from the way my hair's standing on end, that you're a feline. He's pointing at you, Brittany. He's like, yeah, there's something in the core of my being that says I need to be afraid of you. But I'm not going there. So just letting you know. You, on the other hand, I don't even know what the hell you are. You're different.
I'm pretty different.
Yeah. So that's why I say we need to go somewhere else and we can chat. We can talk. We can share abilities and chat and see what we can do. But again, we've been researching this 2 months now. We know that Mickey character is loosely involved or wants to be involved. We know that the lackeys upstairs, they're more like lemmings. They really don't know what's going on. We got a girl upstairs that's been listening in to find out what's going on. When Tina's supposed to let us know when Lancaster's here, and she gave us the same info earlier. She texted us, said Lancaster's supposed to be here Friday. So again, I want to leave Johnny here. He can keep an eye on what's going on, give us a call if he needs be. But I think to be open, we should go someplace else and chat.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
Okay. We got our car out. We can get it pulled up out front. You ladies want to follow, or how do you want to go?
I took Uber.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, if I can catch a ride with you, that would be great.
Oh yeah. So Lucy, you'll driving. I'll sit up front with Lucy, and you ladies can sit in the back and get to know one another in the back seat. So at this point, Johnny, you call. You see anything, you hear anything, see anything, you call. All right. Johnny's like, I got it. So they start to go like, ladies, let's head on out.
I'm gonna wave to the bartender on my way out.
He waves back at you. He sees you trying to get his attention. He waves back at you. And Francis is like, Tony's a good guy.
Yeah, seems to be.
Yeah, he'll get your back if you need him. He'll have your back. So we respect him. He takes care of people here. We treat him like almost kin. He doesn't know anything about anything, but he's almost kin.
It's so strange to be hearing these words from people I don't know. I have to admit.
There's a lot here. You ladies can whisper in the back seat when we're driving and everything. You can be safe with us. We'll go. We got a little shanty in a place we can go to. That's it's not the Ritz, but it's private. There's no bugs. It's all that nobody's gonna listen in on us.
The bugs concerned me at first, but then I see what you mean.
Oh, no, it's not that kind of place. Not going to be any cockroaches or anything.
Okay.
It's kind of
on our way out of the club. I'm going to go ahead and text Brian. Had a great time with you. Looking forward to seeing you again. XOXO.
Within a minute, you get a text back, and he's like, I had a great time as well. It's be careful with that guy. He seemed like a pretty tough guy.
I'll just reply. Everything ended up amicably. We'll catch up with you later.
All right. Hope to see you on Friday.
I'm just going to send a winky face.
Cool. All right. So you guys walk out to the car. They give keys to the valet. Valet comes up, and you guys are waiting for your car. So let's go back to my man with the axe in hand. So, so you and William are at the edge of so you're in the forest, and the brush is really dense at this part. Something has passed through here about a week ago, and it's not like magical brush that grows over and closes it again, but it's still it's thorny and it's covered the area, but something has pushed through this area. And William seems, he's changed form and everything. He kind of seems on edge at this point.
Okay.
Your battle instincts tell you that you need to be ready for something.
Hence my axe.
Hence the axe. There you go. You're walking further in. The trees now here seem older. They're wider, they're larger, and the canopy of the trees they've grown into each other. So it's about noon at this point. You're getting in, and it's dark in this area that you're walking into right now. What did we roll for sense worm before? Was it perception and what?
We did perception. We did perception alertness.
Okay, do that again. Difficulty 6.
Okay. Just the one. No ones, but just the one.
Okay, you're walking along. It's the same sense. Whatever you're tracking, you're going to see those same track marks. It has gone through here. You definitely sense it.
Okay.
You almost smell it. That lingering, gross smell of worm. That just the worm tainted smell. That like I don't know, like brimstone walking through. It's just this
decay. Yeah.
The plants, everything else is healthy around here. It's just overgrown. But whatever this thing was that passed through here has caused some decay to happen around it.
Okay.
Do you say anything to William as you notice that, or?
I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna say much, simply because tactically speaking, that's not a good idea. But I'm simply going to motion, motion to basically my nose, and that like I'm still picking, and a gesture that I'm still picking up the scent.
He's actually gonna kneel down and smell the bushes that you guys are passing through, just almost like it looks like he's about to taste it, but when it gets like this close to his face, he just he's disgusted, like somebody's just put manure in his face. And he's just the whole reaction, and he's just, we need to move faster. And so he stands up and he starts rushing forward at this point.
Okay. So then I just throw my axe, my great axe, over one shoulder sort of thing, and just, run and lumber forward.
Okay. You give me perception and alertness again. Difficulty is 5.
Okay. If difficulty's 5, I've got 3 successes.
All right. There's something nearby. Whatever you've been tracking up to this point, it's nearby.
Okay.
So, do you tense up? Do you point out? Do you
At that point, then I come to a stop and brace myself in a defensive position with my axe.
So William looks at you. He's looking around because he doesn't see what you see or sense what you sense. He's like, "What?"
I'm gonna again just motion, with the one hand over towards the relative direction to wherever I'm picking this up from.
Okay, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's definitely within 10 to 30 feet ahead of you on the same path. You can't see it because of the brush. But it's 10 to 30 feet hidden in the brush up there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to then motion that, it's, near, do a motion that it's nearby, like kind of, a perimeter sort of thing. And then I'm going to pick up a rock or a large stick, like branch or something, and then just lob it in that direction.
Okay, give me wits or alertness.
Sure. Ooh. One more die. And what's the difficulty?
6.
Ooh, that was a good roll. But I had a 1, so 4.
Nice. Okay. It's the forest around you, the brush around you is still. There's no movement at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's noon in a forest. You would assume to hear wildlife or something around you, but it's dead still. That whatever it is, it's in front of you, maybe about 15 feet ahead of you, and you can smell just rotten eggs. Just it's like fecal matter, decaying material, rotten eggs. It's gross. You can't see it, but it's about 15 feet in front of you.
Okay, and was there any response to me throwing the
No.
object? Okay. Well, at this point, it's either well hidden, or it's perhaps not sentient. So I'm just going to tell. I'm going to vocalize at this point. It's roughly 15 feet ahead.
So he instantly goes Krynos. Just he's like 10'6" now. He's just huge, and he just lunges forward and just does a leap forward, like a 10-foot, 12-foot leap to the direction that you pointed, and he leaps on whatever's there, just jumps on it. He's hidden. There's no movement. Like he jumps in there. It's not like he's fighting anything. And then he stands up and he's holding like this carcass, and it looks like a deer that has the antlers of the deer, instead of coming up, or like, I'm sorry, an elk, instead of coming up like this, they actually go backwards. So they're like, and it's not like they were broken. They looked like they
formed that way. Yeah.
Yeah. The face is almost like it's elongated, almost like an alligator, not to that length, but the mouth is just full of teeth. And there's no blood, but it's not moving at all. And so when he picks it up, he's holding the thing, and he's just like, dead.
Let's see. I'm not the best, but I want to look it over to see what may have killed it.
Okay.
So perception and survival?
Well, but he's holding the thing, like he's disgusted holding it. It almost looks like he's about to take this thing and rip it apart. So like you're just looking at, he looks pissed off, and he's just like just holding it. So you inspecting it might be hard.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell him. One moment.
Why?
I need to review the carcass.
And he just throws it on the ground.
Okay. Wreck the evidence. Should have brought Sean. So, what's my difficulty?
6.
Okay, I got 1.
There's no cut marks on it.
So it didn't look like it died in some sort of mauling or traumatic way. Okay.
Well, there's a difference. Traumatic way. How are you inspecting it?
Oh, expecting for any sort of external wounds. I obviously don't have any tools or skill to open it up and do like a crime scene.
But you're like looking at, are you like touching it, moving body parts around? Or are you just kind of looking at it?
Well, I'm examining it with my axe. I'm not going to directly touch that. I could leave that up to, Smokey the Bear here. But I'll just, I'll lift up its leg, here or there with with my axe, or, flip it over with my axe.
Give me perception alertness difficulties 4. I mean, you should be able to see this.
Okay. Oops. You said difficulty 4? 3.
Oh, there you go. The legs, the body, it bends like it shouldn't bend. Like floppy.
Okay. That just tells me it's dead.
No,
I mean...
like almost rubbery.
Okay.
So this, and you've seen carcasses before, so body parts shouldn't move like almost fluid-like, like this.
Well, I'm just going to shrug and, of course, show him that it's just, it's floppy deer. And at this point, I'm going to start gathering some sort of kindling to just light it on fire or something, get rid of it.
He notices what you did, and he kind of paws at it on the ground, and the body almost like waves, like when he hits it.
Mm-hmm. Like watery?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's got me. I don't know.
All right. So he grabs it by the horns again, and he picks it up, and the horns are real stable. I mean, they're bone, and he picks up those, and he's able to pick it up, and he kind of shakes it, and it looks like it's like this bag of liquid, like as he's shaking it, the whole everything inside is just like flopping around. There's no bones in it, or every bone inside of it has been crushed.
Okay.
So when he's flopping it around, it's like what the hell is this? He reverts back to the medium form between human and Krynos, and he's just like, it's dead, but I don't want to sacrifice it here. I want to take it into the cairn to destroy it within the cairn, so that if something is there, we can purify the cairn.
It's your cairn. That's your call. I wouldn't suggest bringing anything worm-tainted into it.
We'll bring it to the edge of the cairn before we make that decision. But I don't want it to burn it out here.
Just motion him forward.
So he starts moving forward with it, and he's just like holding one of the antlers as he's going, and he's just dragging it along.
Okay.
And then now the brush and everything is overgrown and thick now. Before, you were able to walk through easily because the thing had made its way up to this point. But now that nothing's gone past this point in quite some time, he's clearly pushing through, stomping on the brush to get through at this point. So it's a lot more difficult to get through.
Gotcha. Okay.
You get to the cairn, the edge. You can actually you can feel the power of this place just as you approach it. It's almost like when you walk into some churches, you feel like it's holy ground when you walk inside, that kind of thing. That's how you feel with this cairn. It's definitely blessed by Gaia. There's a connection that it has to the earth and to the supernatural as you get closer.
Okay.
You get to the edge, and you can see past the edge of the trees where you're at. There's a clearing in front of you. He sets the thing down, and he just says, he's like, proceed with caution. And then he kind of moves his way into the cairn and just goes straight in. The cairn itself is it's a 45-foot oval that's open to the sky. But
Okay.
and again, so like when you get out here, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So when you get to this point, you can see this shaft of light coming down from the sky because it's almost high noon. So the light's coming down, and it's really lit up the cairn itself, the area itself. It's all around it is all overgrown with brambles and everything. You can see there is a totem in here that's in the dead center. And there are rocks that are kind of stacked up that look like they might be for sitting in a circle around it. It has not been torn apart or messed up in any way. It just looks like nobody's been here in a long time.
Okay, and so then is the cairn itself already open and just abandoned, or is it?
Yeah, it's open and abandoned. It seems like no one's been here in a long time.
What sort of cairn is this?
How do you mean?
Well, cairns always have some sort of like a type. It's like a power type for it. Is it like a cairn of enigma? Is it a cairn of healing? Is it a cairn of rage? Is it a cairn
of peace?
Okay.
And you get a sense of looking at the totem in the center here. It's a Goral totem, but there's also like a lesser animal of a crow on here. So you get the feeling that it's peaceful, but it can answer questions here.
Okay.
So he looks sad. He's straightening things up. He's kind of moving brush away. And he says, I thought it had only been a year since I had been here. It seems much longer by looking at the state of this cairn.
I would assume so. Do you not have some sort of calendar that you keep track of these things?
No, I don't keep track of these things. When I walk about my land, many moons go by when I walk about the land. It could be 12, it could be 20. I have lost track of time.
Well, then I'll go about the, sweeping or pulling down branches or leaves or whatnot and just tending to it. There's not a whole lot here I can do.
Right. Just cleaning up and tending at this point. You roll your worm sense again. Perception was that, and alertness, right? Go for it.
Okay.
Difficulty is 6.
Got a 1 again, damn it. So 2.
Okay. You definitely smell something on the wind coming towards you from the west. So you were traveling north to get here. So from the west, you smell something that the wind has carried something into the cairn. That something's approaching.
Okay. Then I'm going to get myself ready again and tell him to the west.
He's like, what comes?
Something worm tainted. It's not an exact science.
So he's like, prepare for battle, and he goes back into Krynos form at that point.
Okay.
Coming, it's coming closer. Let's do wisdom alertness again. Tell me how many successes you get.
And we're probably gonna have to pause here pretty quick because it's coming up on 9:30.
Yep.
One, two, three, 4.
Nice.
I got 4 total.
All right. So you feel and hear more than one being approaching. Could be between 2 and 3. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's not definitely not one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So with that, I don't want to start a battle that we can't finish. I think that would be a good cliffhanger to stop on at that point.
Okay, that'll work.
Because so we've got our ladies in a car going off to a shanty, and we've got the gentleman about to have some kind of battle here.
That works.
Well, thank you for coming tonight, and thank you all of you for watching and attending. I had a great time. I hope you all did as well.
I did.
I did.
So then next game will be October 5th?
Yeah. Let me pull that up. I think that's right. Yes, October 5th.
Cool. Alrighty. And so then our next game coming up before the end of the month is Fireflies. That's coming up on Wednesday. So hopefully we'll get a little bit further on our goal. If not, $140 is nothing to laugh at for the first fundraiser. So for Control Alt Delete. So yay. In the meantime, then we'll go ahead and sign off. And thank you guys for watching. Bye. And end stream.